ค่ะทุกคนยินดีต้อนรับเข้าสู่ Yuki Channel วันนี้นะคะเราจะมาทำ vlog ไปเป็นโฮสต์ของphilosopher stone Talent Club นะคะซึ่งจัดโดย Miss Deepali นะคะซึ่งให้โอกาสเราก็ thank you very much ขอบคุณค่ะแล้วก็เดี๋ยวเราไปดูกันว่าเดี๋ยวเราเป็น MC ครั้งแรกของphilosopher stone Talent Club จะเป็นไงค่ะ
You can call me Yuki. And it's my honor to officially welcome you to Philosopher Stone's 5th tenant event. Me and my other 11 batchmates have completed our speech in June 2022. And we can't wait to listen to ideas of our next batch. I'm confident that just like us, this batch of young speakers are excited to be joining the community of great young minds in inspiring the world. So before I begin, I'd like to invite everyone to turn their phones on silence. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce our first young speaker, Yuki. We have all heard about how video games are not good and parents are always concerned about their children being addicted to video games, right? But Yuki here has a different take. He believes that video games are good for health and can also be used as a therapy. So let's put your hands together for Yuki. Yuki, it's your turn to talk. Stop playing games.
Before I start, I would like to ask this question to all parents. How many of you think your child is wasting their time gaining nothing while playing video games? Nothing. So please download a video game, because playing a video game can keep a doctor away.
Thank you, Yuki. That was really an interesting idea. I'm sure parents will now be a little more easy with their kids with respect to their gaming time. And now, I'd like to introduce our next young speaker, Ishita. Ishita is sharing with us today her idea on women and their basic rights. She believes that in spite of all the education and development, women are still struggling to be treated fairly. So let's hear for Ishita and her idea.
Hello everyone, my name is Ishita. So first, can all the women in the audience raise their hand? Nice. Let's not hand the paintbrush to anybody else. So let's begin by accepting ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, in every single way possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishita, for motivating us and helping us to rethink our idea towards ourselves and other women. And now, I'd like to introduce our next young speaker, Isumi. Isumi would like to share her research about how life would be in 2050. Well, that's almost 28 years from now. Though it seems like a really long time from now, times move really fast, so let's put your hands together for Isumi.
We all are in a race. This race is about time and future, human values which we could use to contribute for the betterment of our future. Thank you everyone for listening.
For those future insights, something that can start preparing from now onwards. Our next speaker, Ishika, has something urgent and important to share with us today. Her research in the last 2 months has been about how we are near our planet's destruction. So let's hear it for Ishika! talking about the biosphere. We humans share DNA with all species, and it's important that we understand and accept nature as a family, rather than some commodity for us to exploit. Thank you. We must all join in taking care of our planet Earth. Our next speaker, Arjun, is here to talk about passive smoking and how it can affect a child's health. Well, let's hear for Arjun and his idea. Hi everybody, my name is Arjun Deepali, and my topic today is sensitive, but I really want to share my ideas because it has caused many illnesses and deaths in the past. Our loved ones and our planet. Thank you. Introducing us to the concept of third-hand smoking and its danger. We'll be careful about that now. Our next speaker, Leah, would like to share an important topic about air pollution. Well, you know, it's a very common topic, but it can happen or affect our environment and ourselves, which can be very harmful. So let's hear for Leah.
Does air have color? Of course not. I hope we can take this small step and help our country, our world, our planet in reducing air pollution and making this planet a safer and better place for ourselves and for our future generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah, for sharing such easy steps we can reduce air pollution. Our next speaker, Claren, would like to share her idea on magic. Well, sounds very interesting, so let's put our hands together for Claren.
Now, sitting here, you all may think that, oh, of course, magic isn't real. It's just some made-up thing for kids to believe in. But think again, because magic is everywhere. But today, I'm only focusing on one of many in this world: the magic of words. Hello, everyone. My name is Plur, and today I want to share my idea on how words have the magical power to influence and motivate us. Remember, true magic is in our words. Thank you.
Your talk is a good reminder that we have magic within ourselves, and we can use it to encourage people by our own words. Our next speaker, Lena, wants to share with us about climate change and global warming. She believes that our generation is the generation which can change that. So let's hear it for Lena.
Today, our world has become hotter and the planet is changing so fast. It is all because of us humans. Our greed for money and comfort has created this problem, but we forget that we are the ones who suffer because of the same. So let's be careful about what we buying and how much we buying, and be careful about our daily choice so that we can still live in a healthy life and other animals also have a healthy planet to live in. Thank you.
Thank you, Lena, for sharing such a positive perspective and sharing that we still have time to bring about a positive change. I'd now like to invite our next speaker, Manasvi, who'd like to share about gender equality. She'd like to highlight the struggle all genders face. And let's invite Manasvi on stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Nasvi. I know you have listened to some interesting ideas today, and I feel fortunate to stand on the same stage and share my own idea about gender equality. Today I'm going to talk about how women suffered in the past, how why would a 15-year-old child talk about this? But ladies and gentlemen, I believe that this topic should be heard all around the globe, and everyone should know that past hard work and courageous decisions always brings a bright future. Well, now after hearing my speech, let's make this world a peaceful place. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy, for speaking on behalf of those who could. Our next speaker, Abhijat, would like to share about the Rubik's Cube. Abhijat plays Rubik's Cubes for fun and also in tournaments. Many people say the Rubik's Cube is complicated and hard to play, but Abhijat thinks that it's very easy and fun to play. So let's hear it for Abhijat.
So I'll just be quickly solving this Rubik's Cube here, okay? Anyway, now you have the channel solving the Rubik's Cube. If you are, go watch the YouTube video, of course. Thank you.
I'm definitely proud that I see yours are beautiful.
Thank you.
Our next and last speaker of the day, Atisha, is here to share with us about how plastic is useful. Wait, did I say that right? Useful. Plastic is useful. While the world is talking about the dangers of plastic, Atisha would like to share the benefit. So let's hear it for Atisha.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. No. Let me start again. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm not going to give a boring 2-hour formal speech or an elongated lecture of something we've heard of too many times. Today, I'm going to talk about plastic. Not only why it's bad for the environment or how it damages the earth, but also why it can be good and helpful and can even save our lives. Did you know the probability of your life being saved because of plastic is higher than you think? Let me explain. But before I start, I want you to take out any plastic object from your bag, purse, wallet, or pocket. Do you have it out? Now, do you know if it's biodegradable or not? You probably don't know yet. But by the end of my speech today, I hope that you know that object you're holding right now is biodegradable or not. You'll have 30 seconds. Start. Okay, stop. Alright, it's okay. Over here, everything can be recycled except the straw, the plastic spoon, and the tissue. Give a round of applause. You can return back to your seats now. Alright, just before I end, I have one final question. That object you took out at the start of my speech, do you know if it's biodegradable or not? I hope you do. Thank you for listening and goodbye until I see you next time.
Thank you, Tisha. I love the activity you had for us here, and I'm sure each one of us has taken notes of your speech. Wow, that was 11 fantastic young speakers who have been researching and practicing since November 2022. And now, I'd like to invite the leader and trainer of Philosopher Stone's TED Club, Miss Deepali.
Thank you, Kasira.
So, I heard that you've been doing public speaking programs for about 22 years. So, can I ask you a few questions so we can learn from your experience?
Definitely. Let's pull up 2 chairs, maybe.
Of course. So, Ms. Deepali, you have been doing public speaking programs for a while now. So what's the most important topic?
Well, according to me, I wouldn't say one topic. I think let me talk about 3 topics, which I think are extremely important. The first one is how do we handle failures? It's an important topic for kids because I feel that life is all about ups and downs. It's all about winning and losing, right? But as parents, what we do is we are naturally or usually more protective, and we don't want the child to fall or fail, and we're protecting them most of the time. What happens in a situation like this? That the definition of failure becomes extremely negative for the child. So when they're actually facing the real world, they have this thing that at any cost I should not lose, or at any cost I should not fail, and they're not able to handle those situations. Therefore, I feel that handling failures is one topic which is extremely important. The second one, I think, is communication skills. Because it's very important for children that they learn to express themselves clearly, to their friends, to their teachers. They could have the best of the ideas, but if they're not able to communicate it clearly, to the people, then, it just stays there. So therefore, communication is important. And the third most important skill, I feel, is public speaking. Because I genuinely think that public speaking takes you a few notches up quickly, right? Because if you look at the data or an audience, out of 100 people, we may have about 50 to 60 people who might be excellent communicators, which means they are good at having one-on-one conversations. But out of those 50, 60, you might just have 3 or 4 people who might be excellent public speakers, right? And if you look at the leaders in the past, or the business owners in the past, or even in the present, who've been able to influence masses, or who've been able to influence people in a good way, or sometimes even in a bad way, they have been good public speakers. They have been very powerful with their oratory skills. So I just think that public speaking helps you to climb that ladder of success a little more faster. Hence 3 topics. One is how to handle failures, or rather how to manage yourself when you are in a negative situation. Second is communication skills, and third, definitely public speaking.
True, but then all of these 3 is when we're getting into a professional world, right? So when should we start learning public speaking or communication?
Yeah, I mean, while it is used in the professional world, but it is also used by kids, and I think as soon as a child learns to speak, it's important that parents, kind of put them up on stage, because when the kids are young, there are less people who have told them that public speaking is scary, or it's dangerous to go up on stage. So there are less people who've told them that. And also what happens is their definition of fear is very limited. They don't know what fear is. So before, they have conditioned their mind about public speaking, it's good that once they start to speak, parents or teachers can introduce public speaking to kids in small and playful ways.
But not every kid is confident when they go on stage, and how should their parents or the kids help each other to improve?
Yeah, that's an important question, and I think I get asked this question a couple of times. Thank you for bringing that up, by the way. So yes, there are a lot of kids, or rather I would say some of them, who are extremely shy and good public speakers. They have been very powerful with their oratory skills. So I just think that public speaking helps you to climb that ladder of success a little more faster. Hence 3 topics. One is how to handle failures, or rather how to manage yourself when you're in a negative situation. Second is communication skills, and third, definitely public speaking.
True, but then all of these 3 is when we're getting into a professional world, right? So when should we start learning public speaking or communication?
Yeah, I mean, while it is used in the professional world, but it is also used by kids, and I think as soon as a child learns to speak, it's important that parents, kind of put them up on stage, because when the kids are young, there are less people who have told them that public speaking is scary, or it's dangerous to go out on stage. So there are less people who've told them that. And also what happens is their definition of fear is very limited. They don't know what fear is. So before, they have conditioned their mind about public speaking, it's good that once they start to speak, parents or teachers can introduce public speaking to kids in small and playful ways.
But not every kid is confident when they go on stage, and how should their parents or the kids help each other to improve?
Yeah, that's an important question, and I think I get asked this question a couple of times. Thank you for bringing that up, by the way. So yes, there are a lot of kids, or rather, I would say some of them, who are extremely shy, and this response is going to be slightly longer, but I think I will focus majorly on the kids who are extremely shy. So public speaking always doesn't have to be about holding a mic. It doesn't always have to be about speaking in front of 100 people, right? So when you have a child who is extremely shy, what a parent could do is they could introduce small playful ways, like when you have small gatherings, when you have just friends or family members coming in. Allow the child to speak in front of them, and we usually do that, right? Like when we have a group of friends, we say, "Oh, why don't you say this song? Why don't you say that one?" Things like that, because that's a safe space for the child also. They're comfortable with those people, and they start practicing public speaking from there. But I think more important than that is how we parents handle the post-performance environment. What I mean by post-performance is, if the child has not performed as per their potential, what do you say or how do you behave after that performance is over? And maybe I'd like to share a quick story over here. So a few years ago, I was invited as a judge at a fancy dress competition, and these kids, they were about 2.5 years to 4 years old, really tiny kids. And this fancy dress competition was going on, and there was this girl who must be around 3.5 or so, and she was dressed as a watermelon. So she comes up on stage, and I think she must have either forgotten her lines, or she was just overwhelmed about going up on stage. So she didn't say anything. The audience kept cheering her, and the host gave her some time, but she didn't speak anything. So then she was asked to walk out. Now the mother, who was watching it from a distance, was embarrassed and angry about the whole thing. So when she was taking the kid down the stairs, she told the girl, "You know that ice cream that I promised you after the competition? It's cancelled." So that was the first thing that the mother tells the child, and the child, who was actually very happy on stage, thinking that everyone is clapping, suddenly was crying. Because for the child, it was like going on stage, that equation was going on stage is equal to ice cream cancel, right? So I don't know what happened next, but what I'm saying is, after the performance, what you say or how you behave makes a lot of difference. Now, some of you may think, oh, so does it mean that even if the child has performed badly, you should say, oh, very good, fantastic? No. What is important is give specific feedback. Even if they're doing well, tell them what they're doing well. And if they're not doing something right, tell them exactly what they're not doing right. In fact, there are people who are always good at giving that feedback also. It's easy to say, oh, this was good, this was bad, this was positive, that was negative. But then what's the action plan? How does that child then help himself or herself to improve what they're doing? That's what I think is a post-performance environment where, the parent can be a little more conscious, especially with those extremely shy kids, so that they have a positive experience. So that was about the parents. What teachers could do if they spot or identify a shy kid in the classroom is, for the child, the chair that they're sitting on is their safe space, right? And going up there and standing and speaking in front of people is a danger zone. That's the mentality. Now suddenly if you tell the child, go and speak in front of people, it's like removing them from the safe zone and putting them into a danger zone straight. So instead of doing that, what the teachers could do is they could just, encourage the child to sit and speak. They don't have to always get up, go and speak in front of people. So let the child sit in that chair of his or hers which they're comfortable in. Maybe after some time they can shift from this one chair, they can move to another another chair, right? When they're sitting in somebody else's chair and speaking. Then maybe gradually the teacher can say, okay, fine, now you can come up on stage, but when you invite that child, get 5-6 people more, so that the child doesn't feel that I'm standing alone on stage. You know, there are a group of people who are standing with me. Then maybe reduce people one by one, so 6 to 4 to 3 people, and then finally 1. So all of this that I'm sharing with you requires a lot of deep thinking and extreme patience, according to me. So I think parents, teachers, coaches, whoever are working with kids who are shy, need a lot of patience to develop these skills. So yeah, that's how I think.
I see. I'm sure every parent's going to take note of this. And my next question is, when you select children for your public speaking programs, what are your criteria?
I don't have a criteria as such, but I usually speak to every child before before they join. And my only criteria is openness to learning. Right? So the child may not have the skills, may not be confident, may have not done public speaking ever in their life, but if they tell me that they are open to learning, and if they really want to change themselves, then that's all I think is important for me as a teacher.
And do you do like private sessions too, or only group sessions?
I do both, depending on the situation.
And I see you go on stage like multiple times. Are you like always this confident?
That's a good question. Where if people watched me while I was sitting there, they must have seen how confidently I was sitting there. Right, I was going up and down. So even today, I have those slight jitters or butterflies on my stomach before I step up, and more if I have students stepping up, because maybe for parents is there one child or 2 kids going up, for me it's 11 of my kids going up. So yes, I am slightly nervous, but this has changed over years. Like once upon a time, many years ago, when I used to go up on stage, my goal used to be, oh, I should look good. Oh, people should say she's so good as a speaker. That's the appreciation that I would look for. Like people should come and say that, oh wow, Deepali, you're so confident on stage. So that was my take, and therefore the pressure used to be different, or the challenge used to be different. Today, when I go on stage, my goal is to educate people. I just think that when I go up on stage, and if I'm sharing something, and if people can take back even one learning and implement into their lives and bring in some positive change, then that's what my high is. So my purpose to go up on stage is much different than what it used to be many years ago. Therefore, the pressure is more when I'm planning and less when I'm up on stage. That's about me. I know that you go up on stage so many times. Are you always confident, or how is it?
Well, like before I go on stage, I'm like very nervous, but once I go on stage, I feel like I'm here because I want people to have fun listening to me, or like get some knowledge from listening to me. So I just put my nervousness away. Maybe I'm a little nervous on stage, but I just try to do my best.
Right, I think I hear you, and I think we both, and I think all the speakers over here, we all go with the goal that we want to share a learning, which is a higher purpose than just remembering or memorizing the speech, right? And that's what makes the difference.
Thank you. And one more question. If anyone here or someone else wants to join the Philosopher's Stone Study Club, how do they do that?
So I have a page, it's called Philosopher Stone Leaders. It's both on Facebook and Instagram. And I usually upload my programs on that. So that's very helpful.
Thank you very much for inviting me here, and I had a great time here, and it was my pleasure to be invited here, and hope to see you in the next event.
Thank you so much, Kasira and Kasira. So, just for everybody, Kasira, we call her Yuki, and she was our TEDx speaker in the last batch. And I still remember in the last batch when I was interviewing her, and she said that, I love to be on stage, and can you please tell me, like, give me more feedback on how I can do better. So she's always eager to learn more and to do better. So it was a pleasure, Kasira, to have you here on stage. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great. So that I think. So that brings us almost to the end of the program. So I would like to thank all of you for taking our time, being here, and encouraging all our young speakers. I would also like to thank Sintai and his team for capturing all the wonderful moments which they've been doing, I think, for the last 5 events for the last 3 years. Thank you to Fabit. Thank you for helping us organize this event, and most importantly, I would like to thank the parents of all the young speakers of this batch and the past batches, because I think the way you all just hand over your kids to me and trust me that I'm going to work with them swiftly, that itself is a motivation. None of the parents have ever been like, okay, tell me you want this. Nothing of that sort. It's like, okay, this is my child, this is what we're expecting, and that's it. So thank you so much for supporting and trusting my competency to your kid. And on that note, I would like to now give away certificates for all the speakers over here. I'll just push these chairs behind. Okay, so the certificates are in no particular order. It's pretty random, just the way it was sent. So, Isumi. Thank you so much, everyone.
จบไปแล้วค่ะกับการเป็น MC ของ philosopher stone challenge club นะคะ ก็ครั้งแรกตื่นเต้นมากเลย แต่ก็ทำเต็มที่แล้วค่ะ ก็บ๊ายบายเจอกันคลิปหน้า ใครอยากให้ทำคลิปอะไรก็อย่าลืมกดไลค์ subscribe แล้วคอมเมนต์นะคะ